Hey guys, Joanne here with Newegg TV. I'm here to do an overview on these NZXT H630 full tower computer cases. And these cases are built for silence and they do not come with doors. Now for a 360 look at the case. This case, like I mentioned in the intro, is meant for silence, and it is made mostly of solid metal. So it's very durable, and I mean, hey, that's awesome, right? So let's first go over the measurements. So it measures 9.6 inches wide, 21.5 inches tall, and 22.3 inches deep. And it also weighs about, I believe, 30 pounds. And it's actually not too heavy. I could easily carry the case and the box around, no problem. All right, so up at the front, at the top right, you'll get a white LED, and here are your two 5¼ inch drive bays, NZXT logo, no mesh or anything in the front. And which direction shall we go? Let's go this way. As you can see, also, there's no ventilation or anything here because it's meant for silence. But there are some ventilation here at the top rim. And because of course you can include fans and radiators there, but I will go over that later. At the back, you have a pre-installed 140mm fan. You can install a 120mm as well, or radiators of either size. And what's really cool about this mount is you see these holes are longer, so you can position them at whatever height you would like. More ventilation holes. There's a knockout for your input-output shield for your motherboard. Also an I/O light right here. There's a button on the side later, which I'll show you. You just press it, turn it on, off. And so yes, I set the 9 expansion slots. And below that, a power supply mount. And if you can see, there's some raised feet in there with rubber tops, so it'll help, elevate it, increase airflow, reduce vibration. Now, there's also a removable dust filter here. If I can get it, there we go. Here it is. And, now that I took that out, I completely forgot there's one in the front too. Awesome. Let's go back to the rear. As to the power supply, the clearance, I want to mention that you can install a power supply of 11 inches. So that's quite a lot of space. Now, finally on this side, there's not much going on here. And as you can tell, the white case comes with a little bit of black, so it's like black and white. However, the white case is more glossy, whereas the black case is more matte. I will show you a 360 of that later. But first, let's go down the side of this case. So over here, you get an I/O light. Turns it on and off for the back here. And you get headphone, microphone jacks, 2 USB 3.0 ports, 2 USB 2.0 ports, and an SD card slot. I feel like they should really try and incorporate this into like every case should have this, because I know I take a lot of photos and it's great to be able to just put the card in there and be able to read it. So that's just a little something that I enjoy about that. And below that, some ventilation holes. So for the front fans and stuff, so you get some air in and all that good stuff. That covers the 360. So the front panel will pop off if you grab the bottom here and just take it away. All right, inside, as you can see, these are the 5¼ inch drive bay covers, and there are screws here on either side, so you have to remove it in order to take these out. And it also comes with 7mm of closed cell foam to help with the sound dampening. Squishy. All right, and on the side, here is the ventilation, and you can just remove it like this to clean it. Very easy. And I'll put it back later. It's quite heavy as it is solid metal, so we'll put this down. And as you can see, it comes with a 200mm fan. However, you get the option to mount 2 of these, or you can mount 2 140s, 3 120mm, or a radiator up to 360mm long. And here's a look at the 5¼ inch drive bays. The top of the panel also pops off, much easier than taking off the front panel. So what I do is I just kind of like grab this part and till it loosens a little, and then I just pop it off. But first, here's your power button and your reset button. There's a ring around the power button that will light up white when it is on. So inside, you also get sound dampening material, of course, and these are your places where it gets ventilated. All right, now for a look inside. So much like the front, you also get mounts for either two 120s, two 140s, or three 120 millimeter fans, and you can include radiators of up to 360 millimeters. And as you can see, you get these longish holes here, so you could mount various fans and get so many cooling options. It's crazy. Now on the bottom, as I mentioned earlier, these are your two dust filters, and also on the bottom you get fan mounts for, well, it also includes radiator mounts. So you can mount either two 140s or two 120s, or radiators up to 280 millimeters long. And one last thing on the bottom, you get raised rubberized feet, so that helps with the airflow as well as reduces the noise. I've removed the thumb screws for the right side panel, so let's take a look. One thing I've always liked about NZXT cases, and I have done quite a few, is that their side panels, are very easy to remove. Usually they slide, but this has a hinge design, so it just opens like a regular door. Now on the inside, you get a ton of the sound dampening foam. Lovely, isn't it? Now inside, you get a large trapezoid-like shape cutout for your aftermarket heatsink. As you can see, the edges are rolled, so you won't cut yourself if you are installing and or reinstalling a heatsink or something like that. And below that, you get two 2.5-inch drive mounts on the back of the motherboard tray. This is so in case you don't use these, you could probably take out some of these cages. These are all removable, by the way, and it'll help save some room if you mount them here. And above that, you get a fan hub for up to 11 fans. Right now, all the case fans are plugged into here, and I believe this is the 2-pin LED connector. You get plenty of holes, grommets here, and holes to route your cables through, and a lot of space between the motherboard tray and the right side panel. So here are your 3 separate drive cages. They are removable, and I might as well talk about it here. So how many are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So you get 8 drive trays. These are plastic, and you can mount 3.5-inch or 2.5-inch drives inside here. And on the bottom one, accessories. Shall we look at it now or later? Maybe I'll just open it now, but I will need a little cutter, so give me a second. Should be pretty standard accessories like your mounting hardware, all of the screws that you will need, and what else? Maybe they'll include a speaker in here, but I don't know. So inside here, of course, you get some mounting screws right here. Some more mounting hardware. Well, they kind of labeled it for you, but I would check the manual if you're not sure what they're for. Now, these are a bunch of cable ties, standoffs. Let's see, some more mounting screws, and there you have it. Although what I am missing is the user manual and something else, but I'll go get that later. They do include that, I just placed it somewhere else. So before I go over to the interior, I actually did a little more research, and so you get about 24 millimeters to 33 millimeters of space for cable management between the motherboard tray and the side panel. I also missed out on these tie-down points. There's so many. Usually don't forget, but there you go. And what else did I want to say? Oh yes, so you see these 4 screws here. As I guessed, you remove these 4 screws and you're able to push out the drive cage. It's as easy as that. And I'm going to flip this around to the interior so I can show you. Let's take off the side panel for the left side. Once again, a lot of sound dampening material. They weren't kidding when they said silent chassis. So inside, what do we have? Pretty standard. Some black and white theme going on. There's your 140 millimeter included fan. And your expansion slots come with these thumb screws. Probably have to screw them to secure them. And let's take a look at this bag of front panel connectors first. So what do we have? You get a 20-pin USB 3.0 header, and I believe you should have USB 2.0 connector as well. Of course, another USB 2.0 connector. So you get audio, of course, and your power reset LED connectors. And some of these are already connected together. Here's your power, Molex for power, and let's move on. So on the bottom, you get plenty of ventilation. Actually, let me tilt this so you can see. So you do get some airflow definitely coming in and going out, coming in from the bottom. And let's look at the top. All right. Now, this is the motherboard. So they've listed some of the motherboard compatibilities here, but I'm just gonna go over some of the other ones. I've also included motherboard standoffs on here for you. Very nice. So this case is compatible with Mini ATX, Micro ATX, ATX, XL ATX, eATX motherboards, and up to 347 millimeters by 272 millimeters size. But if you want me to convert it for you, 13.6 inches by 10.7 inches for motherboard clearance. So now on this side, you get a toolless design for your 5¼ inch drive bays, and here are your 3 drive cages. I've removed the 4 thumb screws for this drive cage, and it slides out very easily. This is so if you want more airflow, as well as if you wish to include longer graphics cards. Although even with the cage, you can install a graphic card up to over 13 inches long. So this is the support beam for the cage, of course. And here's a closer look at the 200 millimeter fan for the front. Now, let's see. Oh, yes, also, let me put this drive back. As you can see, on the sides here, you get pivot fans. So you can go ahead and direct the airflow of the fan to the areas that you most need. And of course, you can adjust it by just loosening the screw or tightening it to have the fan stay in place. You can install either 120s or 140s, so you get plenty of options. I mean, this case, it's silent, yes, but you get so many cooling, mounting options. It's awesome. So there's one clearance I forgot to mention. The heatsink clearance is 190 millimeters or 7.4 inches. Of course, that would be height. And here is a look at the user manual. This one is actually quite detailed. Sometimes I get user manuals that don't really tell me much, so I have to look online for everything that I need. But this is pretty useful, and various languages, of course. What else? Tells you what everything is. There's something on the back, how to install everything, where everything goes. That is kind of cool. So usually, I don't see this much detail. Oh, look, all the fans that you can put, well, most of them. And even the radiators, what length you can put and where. So quite a useful user guide. And this little packet here talks about NZXT's other products, in case you're interested. I'm totally advertising for them. But there it is. So that covers up this overview. Here's a quick look at the, 360 look at the matte black version, in case this is the one you're interested in. So let's go this way. Also comes with this fun little contour. So I've taken off the front panel. No, I'm sorry, did I just say front? I meant side panel. So also comes with lots of sound dampening. All the features should be the same, except for the colors. So as you can see, it's mostly black. Of course, the fans have white blades, but otherwise it's black, and you can always replace the fans, right? So get some ventilation here, and let's move it along. On the rear, Also get the I/O light, yep. And the other side obviously looks like this. So except here's your I/O button and all of your ports, SD card reader, and of course the ventilation on this side. That wraps up our overview on these NZXT H630 full tower computer cases. I'm Joanne, and if you enjoyed this video, be sure to subscribe to our Newegg YouTube channel. Thanks for watching Newegg TV, and we'll see you next time.